All right, well, that's a wrap for this episode of Weld.com podcast. Stay tuned for next month where we talk about welding with tequila.
What? Where do I sign up?
Don't do anything stupid.
Everybody, this is your favorite rock and roll welder, Mr. Sawblade Head. Now, I got a call from Weld.com. They got a call from another company saying, hey, we got this cool product we think you guys would be interested in, and that Sawblade Head guy is the guy that we want to design something for it. Apparently, maybe they had seen a guitar stand that I had made prior or whatever, but I've already known about this company from previous, and this is a new design. This is from Rock and Roll Tequila. Like I said, I've had their product before. It's got a cool Gibson Les Paul style shaped bottle. This one is very cool with the flying V. Now I get to design some sort of stand for this. This is for, I think it's going to come out here in May. And this is very cool. And I'm super excited to try to create something even ultra cool for these guys. So I'm going to go kind of do some sketch work and see what I come up with. Now what I want to do is go ahead and make a mock-up replica of this beautiful tequila bottle. So I'm using some of this impact foam found over here at the craft store. I'm going to go ahead and lay this one down, draw it out, cut it out, and I'm going to use that as the template when I go ahead and create my display stand. I already drew this out. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, and then I'll go ahead and prep it and sand all this surface rust off. Always try to get your, wherever you're cutting, especially in this thinner material, that's how it's going to wobble. When I'm cutting, always try to get a very secure lock on your material. Trim a little each time to kind of get the perspective that I'm looking for. And when I start doing it in three-dimensional with the contours, then everything will start to come together. In the drawing, you see all the backlit and sparkles, and it's very rock and roll. And I kind of wanted to emulate that. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll get the curve once I roll this metal, and I'll get that image of the three-dimensional. But I still want this, that impact, that was light there, back there. So what I came up with is I decided I'm going to go ahead and cut this one, these two speakers, this full stack right here. I'm going to cut that on out. And I'm actually going to, I'll backlight that with LED lighting, but I'm going to put this perforated metal, it's kind of that speaker cabinet grill look. So I'm going to go ahead and do my scribe cut, and then I'm just going to go ahead and let that blade follow that curve. And here's more of that 14 gauge. I go ahead and prep this material. This is going to be for my crowd. This is going to be layered, give it that dimension. But first, go ahead and clean that stuff up. Alright, got my pieces drawn out. Now it's time to cut them out with my Hypertherm Power Max 30. I got some new nozzles and new tips so I can get a nice clean cut. Granted, this is just artistic, but I want to make sure that I can get in there, get out the little details of the fingers. Now it's very important not only to get your PSI, which I'm running about 90 PSI. My amperage is about 25 on the Power Max 30. Also is your torch height as well as speed. Now if you're going too slow, what you're going to have is a lot of dross in the back, and you're going to want to get kind of stuck as you're trying to actually, go around those outlines. So you want to keep up at a fairly decent pace. If you feel that you can't do it, I would recommend going a little wider so you're not right on your artistic line. Go a little further out. This way, if you make a little mistake, you can actually just go in and you just go in there a little tighter this time to get your the look that you're going for. Now, I've done this several times where I've gone wider, either whether I couldn't really see the lines very well, or I was not I'm not secure in getting this angle or this type of cut at the first pass. So I would do a little bit at a time to kind of get the look that I'm going for. Now this is kind of impressionistic, so I have some leeway to kind of make some of those weird little cuts and everything else. So, but all in all, this thing looks amazing. All right, for this next section, I'm running two different thicknesses. I'm running my side pieces, which is going to be a 14 gauge, to the thin metal, which is going to be 22 gauge. Now I'm going to set the machine up to weld at the 14 gauge, because I want to start that molten pool and pull that puddle down to the 22 gauge. So if I do it in the opposite way, I'm not going to have enough heat on that 14. I'm going to wind up burning right through that 22 gauge. So I got the machine set here at 180 inches per minute, 17 volt. I'm going to do some spot welds just to get it started, and then eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go kind of back over those spot welds and use that additional metal that I added and use that as the thickness and actually heat that up and pull that down to do some stitch welding throughout this, and minimize also the warpage as well. This is the decent thickness. I believe this is 16 gauge. But the one thing you don't want to do is, while I'm using a 60 grit flap wheel, is to get this caught. Wind up bending this up, ripping your flap disc, and even damaging your product. So be very careful on just getting all this kind of slag and just kind of smoothing this out. Didn't do any damage to the piece, but it did kind of catch the flap disc. So you just got to be careful. If that was thinner metal, it probably would have damaged my my design, crinkled it up. So we'll get a new flap disc and finish this up. Looks like a puppy dog sleeping. So I decided to make a mini stage for the Rock and Roll Tequila bottle, and I'm utilizing the same perforated metal that is on speaker cabinets, as well as some 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch angle, 1/8 inch thick. to kind of blend everything in. I think this looks fantastic. And that is a wrap for this episode. I want to thank Rock and Roll Tequila and Weld.com, for this opportunity to, once again, create something ultra badass and one of a kind for somebody. Hey, so until next time, inspire, empower, create, and repeat. Saw blade head. Hey man, it ain't rock and roll without an encore. I got my special friend here that's going to help me out with this encore. Check it out. Until next time, inspire, empower, create, and repeat. We're out of here.